today's video we are going to take a look at a knife from a new to me knife maker. I wasn't planning on purchasing anything, from this maker really, but this specific knife caught my attention and I felt like, well, hey, I think I kind of want to own this knife. So what I have with me today here is a small folding knife made by Big John, owner of Mosquito Tactical and Puppy Knife and Tool. And well, if you haven't heard about that maker or those two companies, then I think it's not that strange, because I've been into knives for quite some time and I had never heard about this maker or the brands. Tried to do some research, but it wasn't that easy, to be honest. I did find Mosquito Tactical on Instagram, trying to read up a little bit. Found out that the Mosquito Tactical was founded, I believe, like 2008 perhaps, and then Puppy Knife and Tool was founded in 2018, I think. But I picked up the knife from Lamia, so I didn't buy it directly from the maker, but I guess that's how most people do. I'm not sure. But I bought it from Lamia, and that's also how I got to know about the maker. So this is the box itself with this cute little puppy, or this cute little dog here on the front, which is the logo of the company. I guess that the knives are made in China, because I can see some Chinese writing here. And there is not a whole lot of text other than that here. It says special bunny, pink inlay, hand rubbed blade, number 9 out of 10. So let's do a bit of an unboxing, I think, and then we can go over the specs and talk a little bit about the design and also test the sharpness. But yeah, Puppy Knife and Tool, interesting for sure. So unboxing, well, this is the packaging, kind of soft paper material, not that sturdy really. And we have the Puppy logo here and some wrapping. So yeah, okay, let's put that aside. Let's see if we can get it in the camera. There seems to be a challenge coin here, which is kind of nice because I've gotten into challenge coins quite a bit recently. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at this as well. I'm gonna remove it from the plastic casing. I just want to see if there's anything else. There is a card here. Puppy Knives and Tools. Yeah, I said knife and tool, but knives and tools it is. Mosquito Tactical, yeah, since 2008. Puppy Knives and Tools since 2018. So I was right about the numbers. And then on the back side of the card here is just some social media stuff and yeah, stuff like that. You can press pause and read it if you want. I thought it was going to be more like a certificate of authenticity, but it doesn't really matter that much. Let's place it again below here. Put the wrapping. So let's start with the coin perhaps while we're at it. So a gold plated or a gold colored coin with the Puppy Knife logo. And on the back side we have this, yeah, bunny girl sitting or standing on a chair. I mean, I don't say no to a challenge coin. I think it's a nice addition, I'd say, definitely. Is it necessary? Well, of course not, but I don't mind, companies sending some different types of merchandise and goodies with their knives. So, that's it about the coin. Let's take a look at the actual knife. So here we have the knife in this little wrapping of sorts. So this is a piece of cloth here, kind of large sized cloth. I mean, I also appreciate a nice piece of cloth there, so that's nice. And then we have the actual knife itself, which looks like this, with a pink titanium inlay in the titanium frame here. I've got to say it's slightly smaller than I expected it to be. I mean, I did of course see the specifications, but it just struck me as perhaps slightly smaller than what I thought it would be. There's also a nice shine to the pink titanium. Might be difficult to catch on camera, but it does look quite nice. Complements the dark titanium scales well. So let's crunch some numbers here, shall we? First of all, yeah, like I said, titanium inlay, titanium scales, and this should be, or it was specified as an M390 blade at Lamnia. Not sure if it's actually stated anywhere on the blade that it is M390. Does not seem to be the case, but it's, well, supposedly it is M390. We've got a total length here, an overall length of 166 millimeters, so 16.6 centimeters. That I would consider to be a small sized knife, no doubt about it. We've got a blade length of 69 millimeters, so about 7 centimeters of blade length, and we've got a blade thickness of 3 millimeters. Let's see if we can get a full thickness. Yeah. We've got a obviously not drop shot action. Oh, maybe because I was actually pressing on the frame lock here, or the lock bar. So a close length of 97 millimeters, so 9.7 centimeters in closed length. The opening mechanism here is of course the thumb stud, which is on one side only. And the opening action, I would say the opening action is really swift. I'm gonna test the closing action now without, actually pressing on the lock bar. You know what? Actually, it is not really drop shotty if I put it like that. It actually reminds me a little bit of a Chris Reeve in terms of closing action. I guess there might be a break-in period, but the opening action is nice, and while not being at all drop shot, the closing action is actually smooth when you give it a little bit of a push. See now. Oh, maybe it just had to, be flipped open a few times, because now we can actually get it to close by itself. Hand rubbed satin finish blade with a bunny printed on it. We got a text, "The Bunny Special Limited 9 out of 10. I'm not really sure what's special about it, like in being a special limited edition or version, since I have no clue what I actually bought. I bought this knife because it looked kind of cool, and I thought it would be a nice knife perhaps for my daughter as well. But it is a special limited edition, number 9 out of 10. Flat ground, drop point. Let's see, is it actually... Yeah, it's actually a little bit taper along the spine, and then it gets slightly thicker, and then it goes into a fairly thin, pointy tip there. So let's see if we can get it to be visible, like the actual lines here. Tiny, tiny swedge grind. Not sure how well it will be visible. You can see the line up here. We got a bit of jimping here on the full spine thickness. The jimping, I would say, it's not super rough or aggressive, but you definitely do get a bit of grip here. So nice texture, nice placement of the jimping as well. The weight of this knife is specified to 74 gram. This is a fairly light knife. I'll see if there's any internal milling done. There is absolutely no internal milling done, but I can see that there is a bit of text here inside, on the inside of the scales, but I cannot make out what it says. I would have to disassemble the knife to see that, but there is quite a bit of writing. Let's see if we can get that to show here on camera. It's gonna be super tricky. Almost impossible, but there is a bit of writing here on the inside, and no clue what it actually says. No lockup, no lock rock. The centering of the blade is, let me see first here. Yeah, the centering is spot on, 100% centered. There is no blade play, very stiff. Let's see. Not that it's a fingerprint magnet, but I mean, I did get a nice piece of cloth with me, so I can as well, you know, put it to some use. Let's see, pocket clip. Let's see, titanium, one piece solid pocket clip. Looks, yeah, I mean, nothing really fancy or special, but it definitely looks, you know, practical. In some sense, I would say. Lanyard hole, well, there is no lanyard hole on this knife. Not that I tend to use one or need one, but for those that want a lanyard hole, you will not find it here. Something else which you will not find here that I noticed is that there is no, wait. I was gonna say that there's no steel lock bar insert, but there is actually a steel lock bar insert, but it's different from what I usually see on folders. Let's see if you can catch a glimpse of it. Might be difficult, but there is actually a steel lock bar insert. It's just not visible on the outside since it's fully clean here. Interesting. From a design perspective, I would say. Let's check the balance point real fast here. We would want the balance points to be around here, and that is also where we find it. Then again, this is a super light knife. Like I said, it weighs 74 grams, so not that it's gonna matter that much really where the balance point actually is. But well balanced, and that also explains why we could see no internal milling, because there was no need for any internal milling. In terms of ergos, I wear size 10, fairly large hands. Placing the knife in my hand looks like this. So I do get a full 4-finger grip. Nice placement here on my thumb. No hot spots that I can feel. It actually feels quite nice in my hand. In terms of a reverse grip, it actually feels even better in a reverse grip. Not that I, you know, usually do use knives in reverse grips, but it feels good. Small, light, nimble, yet kind of sturdy, with nice design features and touches all around. An interesting little knife, for sure. I mean, I know pretty much nothing about this maker. I'm sure some people might fill me in the comments, but my initial impressions is that this is actually a pretty high quality knife or folder. I mean, it may look simple in some ways, but there is more to it than looks. I'm quite glad that I pulled the trigger now that I have it in my hand, because this feels really solid. Kind of wish they would make a larger version. Maybe they do. I mean, this is the bunny. Perhaps there is a, well, I'm not sure which animal I would pick as a slightly larger animal than a bunny, but it feels good. I'm glad I picked this one up. And I mean, one of the main reasons was, of course, like the pink inlay here in titanium. My channel name is still Pink G10. Yeah, I like this little thing. On the price side, I will say, but the quality is on point. Definitely. I do wonder if I would have liked, confirmation about the steel being M390, but I guess I'm just going to go with what Lamnia specified that it is, or I will just have to reach out to Big John and ask him himself. I would also like to know what is actually, the special part about this special limited version of only 10 made, this being number 9. Let's proceed perhaps by trying the factory edge here of the knife. I think that's a good next step. Let's do that. Okay, so let's do some factory sharpness testing using, regular printing paper and then some newspaper. And did I mention? Let's see. Let's take a look here at frame lock here, or the lockup. So I would say that lockup is a solid 25 to 30%. No issues there. And then we can proceed with cutting some printing paper. So, I mean, it will slice the printing paper, but the edge is perhaps not, mega super sharp. It will, obviously it will slice the printing paper, and quite nicely, but it's actually not as sharp as the recent V-knife releases that I have reviewed here. But it will slice the printing paper, absolutely. Let's go with some newspaper next here. Yeah, it will slice the newspaper as well, and somewhat good, I would say. Let's see. Easy to catch on the sharpening choil here, since the blade is so small or short. But obviously, yeah, it will do a pretty good job. So it's yeah, it will slice paper, definitely. It's not like the sharpest edge I've tested, but it's definitely a paper slicing sharp, at least. No doubt about it. So I'm gonna change the camera a bit, zoom in, and then I'm gonna give my, final thoughts and conclusions in a minute or two. Time for some final thoughts and conclusions about the puppy knives and tool, the Bunny, made by Big John of Mosquito Tactical, a maker and a company that I had no previous experience with before purchasing this knife. This is a small folding knife, frame lock design, opening mechanism, thumb studs only, or thumb stud, since there is only one thumb stud here. M390 supposedly, it doesn't state it anywhere on the knife, but it states M390 at Lamnia, which is where I bought this knife. Titanium frame, pink titanium inlay, quite stylish in my humble opinion. A small knife, very light at only 74 grams, but a well-balanced one, I would say. The ERGOS are quite nice despite being such a small knife. Nice grippy jimping, full 4-finger grip, nice in both regular grip with your thumb placed here on top of the jimping, or in a reverse grip for those that like or enjoy using your knives in this particular grip, which I do not. The opening action is quite nice, but the closing action is, well, it's breaking in during the video. But I would say that the opening action is quite swift, no doubt about it. No blade play, no lock rock, 100% centered and a 30% lockup. There are quite a few small details that I do enjoy and like, both in terms of the handle design and in terms of the, or well, more specifically in the blade design. Hand rubbed satin finish, very well executed. The sharpness level is on point. It will slice paper with ease. Although not one of the sharper knives or one of the sharpest knives that I've tested, but still with a very satisfying level of sharpness, I would say. Standard pocket clip, nothing fancy in any way, but practical. No lanyard holes. For those that would prefer it, there is no lanyard hole on this knife. It may look like there is no steel lock bar insert, but in fact there is one that is kind of hidden away. And speaking of hidden, yes, there is some sort of hidden text or message on the inside of the scales that I do not know what it says. Overall, I would say that this is a very nice little knife. It feels of high quality, but I would have liked to know for sure if the steel is in fact M390, but I think I'm gonna reach out to Mosquito Tactical to find out. Also, I do not know what makes this knife a special limited edition, since I am not, I don't know a whole lot about this maker and his models. I would say that I would recommend a knife, but it is on the pricier side. No doubt about it. It's not a cheap knife, it is a small knife, but it's a well executed design, I would say. And it makes for a nice addition in my collection. And I mean, I am called Pink G10, this is pink titanium though, but I felt like this one spoke to me. And that is, the one reason why I decided to pick one up to begin with. There may be some of you viewers that are, very well familiar with Big John, with Mosquito Tactical, and with puppy knives and tools. So feel free to chime in the comments if you have any good or bad experiences with this maker or this specific model. I've seen on his Instagram that he also makes some interesting fixed blades, so maybe you have some input on those as well. So, the bunny.